And I'm not muted anymore. Holy crap. Did I drop it? Where is it? Something that was making me feel better. I cannot find. Oh, there it is. That wasn't it, was it? I got it. Holy crap. I am wrapped up in a cocoon. That's how I'm handling it. Like, holy hell. Like, my face is out right now. You can see the tears pouring down my eyes. That's how freaking cold it is. Negative 34. This is officially the coldest I have been outside. Feels like negative 40. I can't even get up there to do it. There's just too much snow. Way too much snow in the area to do it. And it's not a hot tent. It's a military tent. And I'm going underneath here. Gonna stay warm. Oh, much better. Hands are back underneath. Holy crap. Even the sides of this goddamn tent, the condensation from my breath has turned into ice. Look at this. Look how cold it is. But yeah, I'm just sitting up right now. I need something to do for about an hour or so. I don't want to watch any more of my show, so I decided to stream for a bit. Yeah, I've got a stove for it. They sold me a camping stove. It's all sitting at work. It's so cold right now. I'm warm. I'm warm enough under the blankets. I don't dare come out of the blankets right now because negative 40. I'm a dumbass. Fucking sleeping out in negative 40. So I'm staying up all night until sunup. Then I'll sleep because the sun hits this spot first thing in the morning, right away in the morning. I'll be able to sleep in the morning. It'll be a lot safer. But I'm going to stay up all night tonight, just out of my own safety. Hey, Joanne. But that's the plan tonight, is to stay up all night, just for my own safety and security, because it is negative 34, officially negative 34, and with the wind chill, it feels like negative 40. If you go out there right now with a cup full of water, it'll freeze. Like a boiling water, you can toss it in the air and it'll freeze. If I go out there to pee, it's going to freeze before it hits the ground. But yeah, the goal is to stay awake all night. I got movies and stuff I'm going to watch and some shows. I was at the library for a few hours today, for 5 hours today, charging all my batteries. My electric blanket is on. It's nice and toasty under this damn thing. My toesies are warm. But even in here, I've got a fire going on out there. I'm not going to stock it tonight. This should burn for at least 10 hours. But I'm not moving from underneath this cocoon of blankets I've got. It's just too dangerous to. I have not done that, Ruckus. That's actually a really good idea. Hot rocks in a bucket. I'm going to actually have to try that with my walk. That is a really good idea, Ruckus. I'm going to do that from now on. My walk keeps the heat really well. But, yeah, I figured just keep my mind occupied. I wanted to play some games tonight, but I can't do that with my hands out. That's just too cold. And, like, I'm curled up in the fetal position. I've got very little clothing on. I'll tell you guys that right now. You could probably see my nipples if I was to get up. And if the phone was in the wrong position, you'd probably get a lot more than you need to see. Well, that's what the fire I have going on out there for, is that small little increase of warmth. As long as it's not negative 30 in the tent, I'm fine. I'd say it's cold in here, 5 to 7, -7, but under the blanket, it's body temperature, so I can manage that. And my toes are warm; I can move them, so that's good. And I don't have the urge to sleep. I do not believe in skinwalkers. Last year was a weird year. Last last year I was in Toronto, and we had a very mild winter in Toronto. Like in January, when we had Celsius days that were in the 20s, like not -20s, positive 20s. It was crazy. But now I'm way up north. I don't like the poofy down jackets. Down is really warm. The best thing for warmth for me is if I'm going out, if I'm leaving this area, I'm putting on my clothes. Right now I've got my skivvies on. That's it. And my body heat is keeping the blankets warm, which in turn circulate the heat that I put into them back to me, so I'm nice and toasty. If I'm going out there, I'm putting my long johns on, my socks on, then my long johns, then my sweatpants and my jeans over it. I don't like down. I don't like the big poofy jackets. So I put a t-shirt on and a long sleeve t-shirt over that, so my wrists are covered. Double covered because the long johns go right up to my wrists. And the long sleeve t-shirt on over the t-shirt. Over that I'll use a wool sweater, and over that is my hoodie. The hoodie I use as a windbreak. And that generally is pretty warm enough. Like I was out all day with it. Mind you, 5 hours of that was in the library, nice and toasty warm. I did a nice. I made a stew. I portioned it out for 3 meals. Ate my portion and left 2 portions in Tupperware outside. By the time I was finished eating my meal, they were frozen solid. So those are stored now at my my little spot I used to keep my outdoor freezer. But yeah, I had a couple chicken wings. I had 2 chicken wings, 3 pieces of pork tail, ramen. Yeah, 1 pack. I say equivalent to 1 pack of the instant ramen. Ate all the bean sprouts because I like bean sprouts, and ate all the mushrooms because I like mushrooms. That's what I ate today. Fuck. I'll tell you, I'm stressed to the max. Like, legit. I'm freaking in my underwear. Outside in the woods, -34 with the wind chill, -40 degrees Celsius. That's -40 degrees Celsius is the same in Fahrenheit and Celsius. That's where they even out, is at -40. So that's how fucking cold it is. And I'm in a sleeping bag in the woods. What the hell is going on with my life? How is it like this, man? I don't know. Fuck. I must have been a real bastard in previous life. Like, what did I do to deserve this crap? Oh. Rooster, there's a reason for that. If you're in a sleeping bag like this, if you're using sleeping bags and a lot of blankets and stuff to keep warm, it's actually warmer to take clothes off. Your body heat, you're losing a lot of heat through your skin. So the more skin you have exposed, the more heat's coming out of you. That heat gets pulled into the blankets and then gets circulated back to you instead of getting pulled into your clothes and slowly dissipated out. I'm letting out more heat this way for the blankets to keep the center warmer than it would be. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but like this kind of cold, it's better in your bags to wear less than more. Hopefully our healthcare improves. Hopefully. Oh, fuck. But, oh, who knows? This polar vortex bullshit is unreal. Oh, and I did get some good news today. I got I started a TikTok a couple weeks ago because, you use other platforms to grow your other platforms, and it's working. I got monetized on TikTok yesterday, and all my age verification and identity verification has gone out to TikTok, so that's good. I know that hopefully that'll make me some more, make me get me out of this situation a little bit faster. Good for you, Johnny. I can't afford a room. If I get a room tonight, I can't get my medications tomorrow. And besides, negative 40 degrees Celsius is nothing. It's the same as negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Pfft, nothing. Easy shit. That's the thing. I never got the solar panel. I've tried to contact them, but they never got back to me. I've tried multiple times. I think they just gave me false hope that I was going to get a sponsor, and they suck. I agree. Well, thank you, PP Pepino. I've got my baseball cap and my hoodie. I don't need any more protection on the head. I wish I was back in the day when I still had hair, but at least my beard does its job, protect my neck from the cold. I'm trying to stay safe and warm. I'm staying up all night. Oh, if you guys want, you can double tap the screen or use the two buttons to give me a like. It really helps me out in the algorithm and grow. Growing is good. Well, that's what beards are for. And I swear, that's why I'm always warm. All the hair on my back and chest, pff, I won't freeze. I'm a Sasquatch. But I'm kind of really lucky. My body runs really cold. I am pretty good with the cold. My resting temperature is like far below a normal person's. Same with my resting heart rate has always been really just slow and steady, just like turtles. That's why I say I'm going to live forever. Johnny, in Canada can you get a hostel for $20? Tell me where in Canada I can get a hostel for $20 a night. I will go there right now. Hibernation like that with there was a bear marching around there earlier. Bears hibernate, yes, but hibernation isn't exactly what you think. Bears do leave their dens when they're in hibernation, and they will eat. Like, yeah, there ain't no hostels in Sudbury. The cheapest room you can get out here per night is like $200. Ruckus, those are called shelters. I'm safe for sleeping in the wood at negative 34 degrees Celsius. It's safer this way than going to a shelter. Even then, I wouldn't get. I'd go to the shelter right now and they'd turn me away because there's no spaces in the fucking shelters. They're all packed. 600 people a day get turned away. I've got a fire going on, Brian. I got a fire out front there. I got a bonfire, so I got some heat coming in from that way. That's why I'm not, a robsicle right now. And I'm nice and warm underneath these blankets. I just decided It would be not the smartest idea to get sleep tonight. I'm staying up until like 6, 7 a.m. till sunup. When the sun starts hitting the shelter, it warms it up really, like, it'll be nice and warm in here. It'll be like 15, 20 degrees in here, even though out there I'll be like negative 12. But as long as I'm in my little blanket cocoon, I'm fine. I've got my heated blanket on high. It's the second layer right now, and it's keeping my feet nice and warm. Sailboats aren't a thing in a small lake like that, man. There are houseboats, but yeah, you don't got the kind of money to rent one of those. I've got one option for permanent residency forever, and I've got a couple of the mods. They want to start a GoFundMe for me, and I said I finally broke and said fine, I'll let you. But I need to get money ahead of me so I can get lease the land for life and get a trailer and survive that way. But that's up next. Don't know how I'm gonna get that, but that's something not to talk about right now. The heated blanket lasts as long as my battery banks last. I've got what, 5 battery banks, 6 battery banks if you include the one that's I use just for the blanket. If I leave it on nonstop with the one battery bank, it'll last about 12 hours. If I use my biggest battery bank, that'll keep it going for about 36 hours straight. But this is like the 3rd time I've ever used the heated blanket, and oh boy, it is nice and warm. Yeah, no, I saw it. I figured it'd be the smartest thing for me to get. I knew there was going to be a couple nights like this. Wasn't expecting 5 light nights like this in a row, but I'm glad I got it. Oh, it does eat through electricity. Like the one battery bank I've got is 2,000 milliamps that's for the blanket, and again 12 hours worth of use. Oh, thank you very much, Hope, and love to you too. I'm gonna give you a heart, and gotta give you a like. Everybody, give that a like. Holy crap! Thank you very much. No, heated blankets are a miracle. Like this one here, I don't think I'm going to use it all night. I think I'm going to let my feet get a little bit more comfortable. Because, and then I'm going to shut it off just so I have the power. Oh, but yeah, no, right now, we had a nice little campfire live stream tonight, but I'm just trying to. I got bored of watching the show I was watching, and figured, just let's do some live stream, get some talking in, because I still have another, what, midnight, 6 hours. I got to stay up until sunup. I don't want to know what it's actually inside, what the temperature is inside here. It's cold. I can see my breath. It's well in the negatives. Enough to freeze water. But under the blankets, it's quite toasty. And I am trying to stay comfortable and warm under the blankets. tell you right now. I'd say in here about -5, maybe -5 to -10. Johnny, I don't have a car. I could never drive again. Like, well, what's expensive for me? I'm gonna say that's wrong. So I made a big meal today. There's chicken wings in it and pork tail and a couple veggies and kimchi. It was super spicy with instant noodles and everything like that. That's 3 meals right there. I spent like $15 on that. That's it for 3 meals. Uh, you can do bulk in winter. What's expensive though is medication. I would never do any sort of fire inside of the tent. That is stupid. That's how you. It is too risky, and tents don't burn; they melt. If you accidentally catch it on fire, you're going to be covered in hot melted plastic, which ain't good for anybody. I read books more than I listen to music. Yo, Denny. Well, Johnny, if you're shopping meal to meal, you should plan it to eat once a day. And depending where you are, look for butcher shops. Go in there and ask if you can buy their scraps. Like you can get beef scraps, like a pound of beef scraps for like $2. And if you're smart about it and you marinate it with some cheap ingredients like what was the last one? A little bit of mustard. Even yellow mustard is fine. You don't need the fancy Dijon. And some garlic. Just have one big meal and you're fine. You can get cheaper that way. I have tried a lot of that stuff, man. Eliza Hall, I'm glad you're keeping strong too. I people, it's hell, and there's a lot of prejudice towards people who get stuck in the situation that we are. That the worst one I get is go get a job. I got a job. Oh, get another job. I've got MS. I can't just go to a construction site. I'm too much of a liability. Oh, it's your own fault. You're an addict. I've never done a drug in my life. Oh, then you're a drunk. I don't drink. I've got a heated blanket, James. Cold is easier than the heat. Heat is inescapable. Cold, you can put blankets on and have a fire. The heat is not fun. Mike, exactly. That's why I will not put any source of fire or combustible materials within the tent. Eliza, Eliza Hall, I hope you get housing. Gary. Fuck that. That's I haven't. I left Toronto a long time ago. I left Toronto about what? June. I left Toronto in June, July, June to July, July to August, September, October, November, December. I left Toronto about 7 months ago. I had actually had the last time I saw him, he was moving out of the shack and moving into the back of his truck. He was leaving that shack. So I think he's doing okay. Mind you, there are a few things about him. He's outside for a reason. He's got family up north. But how do I put this? Instead of paying rent, 700 or 800, $1,000 a month, 1,100, 12. Instead of paying $1,500 a month on rent, that man Gary spends $1,500 a month on booze. James, I wish I could save for an apartment. At the end of the month, I've got nothing. I'm trying to get enough money ahead of me so I have a permanent place forever with the Green Project. But for that to happen, I need to get minimum $5,800. That's for the plot of land and a trailer to put on there. Realistically, I need Canadian $10,000. That would get me the trailer and power and the plot of land that would be mine for now and the rest of time. And I'd have no worries. So I could live my life, get a job from the trailer, have a little bit of internet into it, could do a call center job, and as my MS, multiple sclerosis, gets worse and worse and worse, I would still have a place for the rest of my life. Andrew, I'm glad you're doing okay tonight. It's pretty brutal. My two-legged dog, Rob. Interesting. Um, I've got no preference when it comes to breakfast foods or dinner foods. I'll eat breakfast foods for dinner. I'll eat dinner for breakfast. I am. I'll tell you my favorite meal on the planet is something simple, and it is a pizza with extra cheese, pepperoni, green peppers, and onions. That is my favorite meal on the planet. But I'll have a corned beef hash for dinner any day of the week. Right now, I've been in a spicy kick. I've been in a mood for spicy food. Like today, I made myself a kimchi stew. It was good. I'm glad you're here, Eliza. Like, you should consider. I wish I could send you the Discord link. I think there's a link in my bio. There's a lot of people there. You should join and just come chat with us. There's a lot of friendly people there. And, there's not a single bad person in the Discord. Shelters are death. You don't want to go in any shelter. There's a lot of bad things in shelters, even in the nice one. And if I leave Sudbury, where I have employment to go to Mississauga, I'm leaving my job. I'm leaving my employment. I'm leaving my source of money where I can purchase my medication to go to a shelter in Mississauga where I've got no job. And no, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get another job because my options are limited. I would be foolish to leave. And the other thing is I have employment. Yeah, it's part time, but at least I get to have that pride in myself going to work and doing something productive for 20 hours a week. I'm not quitting my job. You got to have a job. And at least having the part-time job that I've got, I have that source of pride in myself again. And I don't want to lose that. Ooh, that's yeah. You guys aren't used to the cold up there in Florida. Yeah, it's about with the wind chill. It's negative 40 degrees Celsius, which is also negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Cabins are way too pricey, Brian. They're always rented out. Like legit, there's no openings in the cabins from now until like summer. I wish I could use one, and I'm sure she would let me use one if there was available, but they're rented out, and that's her source of income. I'm not gonna cut $1,500 a week from her pocketbook because I want to use it. Yeah, no, this this is a weird one. Like the polar vortex coming down is hitting you guys in this. I feel bad for you guys in the lower states where you're getting hit, where it's snowing, where it normally never snows, where the temperatures are like shorts and t-shirt weather, and now it's in the -3 for you guys is gotta be hell. You know, always hot out, and it's an abrupt cold like that. I feel bad for you guys down there. Getting pallets in where I am is really hard. I've tried putting up temporary situations, but the one temp shack that I had was tore down. Oof. Well, I hope you make it through the snow okay. Oak Ridge, taxidermy. Oh, that is awesome. I'm doing well. It's -40 degrees Fahrenheit here with the wind chill, so I'm doing okay. I think I'm a little bit colder than 8 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, thank you for the poop sticker. You rock. Mr. East, again, -34 Celsius, -40 Celsius with the wind chill, which is -29.5 degrees Fahrenheit. With the wind chill, it's -40 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's freaking cold. Yep, I'm up near Sudbury, Ontario, in the greater Sudbury area. I'm not in the town of Sudbury because they're the worst people in the world. The cops there are brutal. They will go in. They just did it to a guy recently. I was watching the video on TikTok. I'll find it and post it. But they came into his little camp that he built. took all of his stuff, took his heater, took his generator, took his bicycle, knocked the shelter down because, you know, he could be seen, and left them out in the cold to rebuild with nothing. Oak Ridge, oh, thank you again for the super. You rock. There's a heart. There's a like. What kind of shelter am I in? I am in a tent. I'm not just in a tent. So underneath the tent, I have bags, garbage bags I filled with leaves and crushed. There's about 3 inches of clearance off the ground underneath it because of those bags. Then the tent is over those. In the tent underneath me, I have 2 sleeping pads meant for the ground. Over that, I have a tarp, a painter's tarp over that, and 4 sleeping bags over that, which I'm on top of. On top of me, there is a quilt, a large sleeping bag, a heated sleeping bag, another sleeping bag, another sleeping bag, a sheet, and another sleeping bag. The heated sleeping bag is on. Then you got the tent. Outside of the tent, there is a white sheet over the tent, and over that I flattened garbage bags full of leaves that I collected in the fall, duct taped them together over the shelter to keep the heat in. Over that is a orange an orange construction tarp. Over that is a waterproof green tarp. That's what I'm in. Yeah, I'm trying to be consistent and post every day, Josh. Uh, I just got a I've got a TikTok now that it's starting to blow up. Like last I checked, so I just started posting. I posted like a couple of videos when I first started a few weeks back, and then got uninterested with it. Then I decided to start posting earlier this week, and I went in the last week on the TikTok. I went from 2 subscribers to where it's at now. And when I last checked, it was at 1,128 subscribers. So, and it's monetized now, which is awesome. And I'll be able to do live streams on there too. So that's going to help me out even more. Hey, Warrior, how are you? Uh, I, I've got power. Oh, Eliza, I feel bad for you being alone like that. Fuck. It's bad for me. I've been in the situation where shit has happened to me. You're new here, so I'll tell you the story. It's kind of funny, kind of weird, kind of fucked up, but I, I still get to tell it because I get a kick out of it every time I tell it. There's a library I go to go charge all my devices. I charge my phone and my battery banks, like the bank that's keeping my sleeping bag nice and toasty right now. I go there for a few hours. It usually takes 3 to 5 hours to charge all my crap. I read books and play on my phone. My eyes were feeling kind of fatigued at the end of this day, so I decided to step outside and take a couple puffs on my vape. Sitting outside on the bench, this car is driving by across the street from me, going like that away across the street. He takes a look at me and he stops his car across the street and he looks at me. He does a U-turn and stops right in front of me, right on the bench, right where the bench is. Does a U-turn, and he unrolls his window, and he sticks his head out and is like, "Come here, come here," and I'm like, "What? What do you want?" And he's like, "Hey, you and me, we can have sex, yes?" I didn't know what he was saying. Not that I didn't know what he was saying. I couldn't process what he was saying because that's such an absurd thing to say to a person that's sitting on a bench, you know? Yeah, let's have sex, brah. Me and you right now. Let's brah, let's have some sex. He had a very thick Indian accent, so that doesn't matter where he's from. I'm just saying, for the sake of the story. That's the truth. He had a very thick accent. But yeah, he's rolled his window down and said, "You and me, we can have sex, yes?" I'm like, "What? We can have sex, you and me, yes?" And I noticed he's got like a $20 bill in his hand, and he's waving it in the the come on jerky movement. Me and you, we can have sex, yes? And I'm just like looking at him like, "Are you asking me to have sex?" And he's like, "Yes, yes." I'm like, "Fuck, dude, what's wrong with you? Are you high? Are you mentally unstable? Are you on drugs? Are you drunk? What's wrong with you, man?" And I'm like, "Fuck, dude." And I guess I don't know what the fuck was going on with this guy. He wanted to give me $20 to have sex with him. He left. He drove off. But like, I'm worth more than $20. Come on, at least $22.50. Jesus. But that was one of the weird ones. Mind you, I'm not even insulted by it. Like, whenever I think about it, I laugh a bit because there's this guy he's driving by and he sees me sitting on a bench and he's like, "Oh, look at that big sexy bear. I gotta get me some of that." And like crank a U-turn just to say hi to me. Oh, James, you rock. Thank you for the sticker. $22.50, okay? $22.50 is the minimum. Come on, I'm at least worth $22.50. I don't think I would use a solar generator right here. Too much expensive stuff. Too much stuff to bring out. But where I am, I like going to the library that I go to because I get to read books, bring in the books I take out, and check more out. I like to read. It gives me a place to go for a few hours just to not be in the woods alone, chat up the librarians or the black guy who likes to sleep on. There's this guy, he's a really cool guy. His name is Dale. He is homeless, got a job, but he works nights. So he gets off at 8 o'clock in the morning from his job. The library opens at 9 o'clock in the morning. He gets to the library and goes to the little, the atrium. There's a seating area there with a window. He gets there at 9 o'clock in the morning, grabs the footstool and one of the nice chairs that he got there, puts his stuff down, puts his feet up, and sleeps there from 9 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock at night. Then he gets up and leaves. I've talked to him a lot of times, so he sleeps in the library every single day. Anyways, yeah. A bike on wheel. I can't drive a car. I have multiple sclerosis, and I also have a seizure disorder. If I wasn't sick, and if I could drive a car, I would still be able to do my old job. I was a crane operator for a year, a tower crane operator, more specifically. Go downtown Toronto or the beaches area of Mimico. All those high rises I've probably worked on. I worked on a lot of projects, so I can't drive a car. The seizures kind of disqualify me from that. That's why I can't do that anymore. But I've got multiple sclerosis. The seizures aren't from multiple sclerosis, but they are a byproduct of it. They're caused from stress. That hence why they've got me on anti-anxiety medications just to keep the stress down so I don't, my entire day nonstop. Murder money, I'm the only creep out here. I promise you that. There's nobody around for what? The closest person is my boss, and for me to get there, take me an hour and 45 minutes to walk to. Shala Hassan, I actually have a plan. I'm trying to figure out how to get the funds behind me to do this plan. is you can get an old model trailer home, like a camper, for $800. The one I'm looking at is from 1985. I would love to have that with a place to put it. There's a project called the Green Project that I've been approved for. $5,000, you've got a 100-year lease on an acre of or a half an acre of land. I could get that trailer, plop it down there, get some solar for it so I have some power, figure out how to get internet through Starlink, and get a job doing a call center or remote work. That would be a life. But it's about going to get all the funds to do it because I can't save a damn dollar the way I am right now. But if I could figure out how to get the money to do that, I estimate it with all the solar I would need, the trailer, transport, and other basic needs, about 10,000 Canadian. Scrap. Why would you do that? Like, you could buy a 25-foot long camper for like $600, even less. That's ready to go, ready to sleep in, insulated well, and you're not you're recycling, you're reusing, and you can build it the way you want it to be. I wouldn't have to move it. That's the point. So you get it moved. Now that's the point. Is I'm pretty sure I could find someone willing to move it from the location it's at, because it's on wheels, to the location I need it. In fact, I think the sellers would move it for me just to get rid of it. It's not too far from where I need it to be, anyways. The Green Project is the Green Northern Living Project. It's a Canadian thing. Exactly. Like, even then, the seller is in the area of where I want it to be, and it's the country. They would deliver it for free just so it's off their property, and they know it's going to a person who's going to use it and love it and not abuse it. Well, it's not only that. Is I've done my research with this place. I've talked to people who live there right now, and they were very honest with me, and they didn't hide any of the problems. At first, I thought it was a cult. Straight up, I thought it was a cult. I thought it was like I was going to go there and they were going to be worshiping Satan and doing sex rituals, which might not be a bad thing, depending on your outlook. But it's not. The people who I've spoke to were very candid and honest that the owner of the place is a lazy fuck. Uh, and there's only 6 families there right now. One of the family is a huge gossip, but with all of its problems, they are thankful they moved there. So that says enough to me. It really doesn't work that way, with the bicycles. It can't be wood, and you don't want to be sleeping in a coffin. Why would you want that though? Like, There's something about permanence that's better than moving, you know? I wouldn't want to ride around and live on a bicycle. I just need that one spot for the rest of my life up in the country. $5,000 Canadian would get me the property for the rest of my life. That's how much it costs to buy into the green project. That's the land. Then you got to worry about other things. That's the minimum. But we're setting up something right now, Brian. We're going to be doing a stream in the future for a GoFundMe. Jeremiah and Cornish have talked me into it. They're working on the GoFundMe for that. And we're going to do, like, Jeremiah, he is doing a blackout tattoo on his arm. He just finished the half of his arm. And we're going to do a live stream where he's selling spaces on his arm to put people's name on. So you can buy a spot on his arm for $100 where he'll tattoo your name on his arm. That's one of the things we're working on. And I'm also working on something to get a little bit of funds going my way too. Oh, dude, Platypus is an awesome guy. We last Friday, myself, a few of the mods and the members of the Discord, we all sat on an audio call with him for a half an hour, where he blacked out because he had some tattoos here he doesn't like. He blacked out from here on his arm right down to his elbow, like in a half an hour. It was awesome to watch. We just sat there, chilled with him as he was getting it done, making fun of him. Yeah, that 10K would set the place up. It would get the land, get the trailer, get the supplies necessary to survive, the solar and the solar batteries, just so I have a little bit of power. And yeah, but again, it's not like a right away thing. I wouldn't be able to make it happen until May at least, because they're snowed in like right up to my neck right now. Trey, I'm still up. Gotta be up. Too cold not to be up. Not sleeping tonight for reasons. I'm not asking for donations, man. I'm here up right now just chatting. I'll be honest, there's a PayPal donation link in my bio. You don't have to give anything right now, or I'm not even asking for anything. I'm just chilling right now, staying up tonight because I don't want to sleep at all tonight. It's too cold, too dangerous to sleep. Brian, I'll go ahead and I'm going to email you I'll email you the links, Brian, or I'll message the links to the Discord. You don't own the land. It's a lease. The place has rules, and the rules are just don't be a pig. Basically, that's what the rules amount to, is don't be a pig. The only thing you have to pay for after that is your yearly taxes, which is $150 for property tax a year, and another $200 for the road maintenance. It's not ownership; it's a lease for life. But you do have the option to sell it, and there is a small community with it. I've come to the conclusion with where my health is, I can't go up north somewhere by myself and own land by myself with no one around, because I'm gonna die if that happens. Why? Well, what's profiting from? You know what the best profit is? Is $5,000. You got a place to live for the rest of your life. I think that's why would you have to try to find a way to profit from that? It's an Ontario thing. If you're in Ontario, Canada, it's probably something you could do. Yeah, you're allowed to grow your own vegetable garden on your plot. Plus, he says they'll give you a small section. There's a farm area up to the on the property. They'll give you a small area for your own personal garden as well. It's not possible to have an all-year outdoor garden. If you're going to do an all-year garden, you have to have a greenhouse. Canada, we get winters. After October, nothing grows. Heck, midway through October, nothing grows. It's too cold. Working on staying warm. I'm a tough SOB. What do you expect? That's why I'm out. That's what I'm thinking, Brian, man. When I saw that, again, when I first came across it, I've been researching it for a while now, but when I first found it, I thought it was a cult. Straight up, I thought it was a cult. I thought they were going to they're luring people in to harvest their organs, sacrifice them to Satan. They're not a cult. It's just some guy who has 300 acres of land in northern Ontario who decided to call it the Green Project, and he's making it possible for people to live cheaply. The guy who owns it is, at heart, a good person. He's just lazy and doesn't like to do things he promises he's going to do, I guess, would be the way to put it. Oh, the boots were fine after they were frozen. Okay, Shala Hansen, I'm going to have to ask you to calm down a bit. You're starting to spam the chat. Oh, I'm nice and toasty, Allie. I'm in my underwear underneath blankets. I'm good. Oh. But yeah, I might have to go back to movies now. I might stream again later tonight as well. It's thanks for keeping me company. Thanks for helping my mind settle down a bit. I'm warm enough though. I'm good. I'm surviving. I'm not sleeping tonight at all, just for safety reasons. But it's nice talking to everybody here. If you're not subscribed, please do. Helps me out. Give me a thumbs up. And your credit card information. That'd be awesome. Not the credit card information. I don't need that. But you guys have a great night. It's been fun. I'll probably come back in a little bit. Oh, no. I've got a heated sleeping bag. I'm nice and warm underneath my neck. It is what it is. Ugh. So you guys have a great night. Cliff, what the fuck is this? This is a live stream of a guy in a tent in negative 34 degrees Celsius weather. That's what this is. With the wind chill, it's negative 40 Celsius, which is about negative 40 Fahrenheit. 34 Celsius is negative 29 America land, Fahrenheit. So you guys have a good night. I'm hanging up.